Hello, everybody. It's Brian here, and I am here today to take part in the 1 year anniversary celebration started by Richard from Richard's Vinyl Taphouse, who just celebrated his first year in the vinyl community. His channel had a different name previously, but he rebranded it. I'd say I really enjoy Richard's channel. I was hoping to meet him at the MGK Bash, but he didn't make it this year, but hopefully he will make it next year. I really want to meet Richard. So we started this challenge, which is just to show 3 to 5 records that were recommended to you from another channel and that you went ahead and purchased for whatever reason. That's pretty easy to do. I could have made a very long list of records I have purchased because of other channels, and unfortunately that will continue to happen, which is I guess a part of being in the vinyl community. So I'm going to start with taking a moment to welcome back someone to the vinyl community, and that is Mike, who's known as PC31, the Vinyl Policeman, who started his channel, I think somewhere around when I started, maybe a little before. He was one of the first people to connect with me in the vinyl community. And I will say that apart from being a nice guy and a champion unboxer, just a fantastic presentation of unboxing videos, his musical taste is really impeccable. I have yet to discover something that he's recommended that I don't like. And in fact, I could have done this whole challenge just using bands that were recommended by Mike, but I've restricted myself to just one band. And I have to say, I'm a little surprised when he mentioned this band, because I always thought I was fairly up to date on, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s post-punk bands, or, through the 80s, these, I thought I knew what I was talking about. But he mentioned a band and an artist who led this band that I'd never heard of before. So the band is called The Sound, led by Adrian Borland. This is the record called All Fall Down. He's mentioned this band and this artist a number of times, including in his most recent video. And after a while, I thought, okay, I've got to listen to this. But I listened to, I should tell you the first one I got. The first record I found locally was this Shock of Daylight. And it's a mini album, has 6 tracks on here. And I was listening to it the first time, and I was sort of feeling a little depressed that I didn't know this back when it came out in '84, because I thought this is something I would have definitely listened to in 1984. And here I am many, many years later, and missed out on years of listening to this because I think it's really good. Now, unfortunately, the Sound records are very hard to find here, and they just didn't seem to have any traction here. I don't know why, but so I did find this one, original pressing. This is a repressing I found in a store, and the other one I bought in a local store, which is an original pressing, is this live album, In the Lighthouse, which is a double live record, which is very good. Now, I am looking for the others. Some of them are on Amazon. I was hoping to find, local copies, but I might have to resort to that. Unfortunately, Adrian Borland died in, I think, 1989. I believe he was 41. A tragic ending to his life, unfortunately. He's involved in other projects at the time, too, which I'm also interested in finding. But I will just echo Mike and recommend The Sound. I think it's really good. If you like post-punk, you might enjoy that. I think it's really good. Now, secondly, another channel I connected with quite early in the VC, and I have met this channel host. You might know him as Ben Rankins. He talked about this record quite frequently, the Triffids' Born Sandy Devotional, and I know it's been shown on other channels, and I have to think that it was Ben's recommendation that caused a lot of people to go out and purchase this. I did a little research on this band before I bought this, and I found that they were listed on lots of year-end lists, and one of the records was on the 1001 Records You Must Hear Before You Die. This is known to be an Australian classic record from the time it came out. I can't, we think I'd remember when it came out. I tried to find an original copy, and I only saw one copy that was original, and it was after I bought this repressing from 2023. This happens to be on yellow vinyl. And I would say that the accolades it gets are truly warranted. It's a really great record. A little, it's kind of like an alt-rock record. And I think I saw it on a couple other channels before I decided to get this copy. And I found a copy on Amazon. Unfortunately, it was marked down. It was almost impossible to pass up. So the Triffids really great. Subsequent to that, I did grab 2 other Triffids records that I found. I'll just in the city here or nearby, these two Triffids records, which are also really good. Even though David McComb, the singer, didn't like this particular record, Treeless Plain, as I recall. Now, again, a tragic story because he died at age 41, I believe. No, 36. He died at age 36, I think. I think I got that right. From heart issues related to heroin toxicity or something like that. So a tragic story. Now, I will mention one other thing with respect to Ben, because Richard also mentioned this particular record. And again, it's a tragic story because this guy died at the age of 50. Fortunately, we're done with the deaths now. But Roland S. Howard, Pop Crimes, first time I heard about this record was through Ben's channel. And I know Richard mentioned this one in his video. I just want to echo that because I think this is a truly fantastic record. It's even my partner Cecile liked it when I put it on, which is not always the case, but this is a really great. It's only got 8 tracks. The only song that I'm not sure about is he does a cover version of the Talk Talk's Life's What You Make It. I think it's pretty good, but it's hard to beat that sort of lush production from Talk Talk. But this is really great. I recommend this record if you ever find it. I've been trying to find another record his called Teenage Snuff Film, and I have seen it twice in the city, and both times it was really expensive and not in the best of shape, so I passed on that. Next one I'll mention is from a channel called A is for Alice, B is for Bob, C is for Cole's Corner from Richard Hawley. An artist I'd never heard of before, and Steve spoke very positively about this record, and I kind of ignored it almost. Because after all, Steve doesn't always recommend music that I like. But I was walking through a thrift store once, and I looked at the CDs, and there was a copy of this for $1.99. I bought it, I put it on, and I immediately loved it. This is a really solid record. Now, before I bought it, though, I remember reading the Wikipedia entry, and I think it was noted as being soft rock or chamber pop or something like that, which didn't really thrill me. I don't think that definition is really correct, though. I think there's hints of old school rock and roll here. There's possibly bits of country or jazz or blues. It's hard to say. It's kind of all over the map, but it's really sophisticated. It's lush. I think it's a really fantastic record. It came out in 2005. This is a later, well, actually this came out in 2025. This is the black vinyl version. So if I ever see another Richard Hawley record, I will strongly consider it because I think this is really a really terrific record. I really enjoy it. Now, let's talk about another channel called, it's another mic. The mics are overrepresented in the vinyl community, but there is a channel called Play Vinyl in the Milky Night. Another channel, sort of like PC31. If Mike recommends it, chances are I am going to like the music. He has a very good taste in music. And he's not the only place that's mentioned this band, but when this record came out in, I don't know when it was. Well, I have several. I just picked a couple. This is not the recent one, but Beach House. He talked about Beach House quite frequently. I should have grabbed the most recent one, but I did not. Here's Depression Cherry, possibly my favorite record from this band. The other one was from 2012. I don't know when this came out. 2015. I have a couple more. I bought a few more, 2, 3 more. And I have to say, I really like it. They're a dream pop band, indie dream pop duo, really intriguing music, very lush, reminds me on some level of the Cocteau Twins, so that kind of music. So I really enjoy this. I know other people, I've seen Beach House records shown by other people as well. I think it's well worth investigating, especially like bands like the Cocteau Twins, the sort of dreamy side of music. So I think that is really good, and Mike just shows always records that I want to buy all the time. And lastly, because I'm going to do 5 here, let's circle back to Richard's Vinyl Taphouse, because I think he might have been the first place that I saw this record, but I could be wrong about that. But he spoke positively about this slow dive record called Everything Is Alive, their latest one from 2023. And I decided to buy this. I may have seen it first on his channel, I think, and then other people mentioned it, and I grabbed a copy that I saw that was a really good price. This happens to be a clear vinyl version. Now, they were around, I think, from 89 to sometime in the 90s, and they sort of disbanded and got back together in 2014 and Soldier On. Interestingly, I read that some of their early records got scathing reviews. So it was in my mind that I wanted to get more Slow Dive records, but the only one I ever bought was this one, the self-titled Slow Dive record from 2017, because it was $22.99 or $23.99 in a local store downtown. I thought that was fantastic. And the reason I mention that is because some of the earlier stuff has been re-released on vinyl, and the record store closest to me sells them for $69.99, if you can believe that. And even on Amazon, they're $70. So that is insane. There's no way I'm paying $70 for one piece of vinyl. It's not going to happen. But this was a deal, and I really enjoy this record. And yeah, so they're on my list for bands I want more music from, but at a cheaper price. But thank you, Richard, and others, for mentioning Slow Dive, a band I had heard of many times and never really listened to them. Although a friend of mine went to see them when they came through Toronto. Now I'm regretting that I didn't go to that show. I probably should have. So that's life. But thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. And please consider taking part in this. I'm sure you have bought a record because someone in the VC has recommended to you. Okay, see you later.